to the U.S. Soccer's National Training Center and to Day 2 of the 2015 Under-18 Men's NTC Invitational Tournament. Today's second match features the Under-18 men's national team of the United States taking on the Under-18 men's national team of the Czech Republic. The national anthem of Czech Republic, followed by the national anthem of the United States.
We're all set for day 2 of the U18 Men's National Training Center Invitational between the U18 USA and the Czech Republic. I'm your host, Mark Serber. It's a pleasure to be here with you on U.S. Soccer and U.S. Soccer's YouTube page as the USA coming into match day 2 on the back of a 2-1 loss to Uruguay, while the Czech Republic making their debut in the tournament did play a game on Saturday. It was a 1-1 draw against Xolos. However, that one not counting in the standings. For the Czech Republic, their first start in the tournament for the USA, looking to get back on song after that 2-1 loss. And for this USA side, it is the last game of the cycle for many of these players, so the last chance to impress U20 coach Tab Ramos at the U18 level before they head into consideration for that U20 level. Good look at your referees in the middle. This afternoon's match will be officiated by Adam Finney, and a player that will certainly move on to the U20 level, Mukwele Akale. Pablo Pelaez to his right, or to our right rather. And it's the red, white, and blue, clad in red, white, and blue. The Czechs in the all-white with blue trim. And it looks like it's going to be the USA to kick off. 6 changes made for Javier Perez and his side that lost 2-1 to Uruguay on Saturday. And one of those is Sebastian Elney coming into the middle. 18-year-old plays for the Philadelphia Union Academy, has been on trial with the Tottenham Hotspurs. And the aforementioned Akale getting ready for the kickoff alongside Sebastian Elney. He plays his soccer with the Villarreal reserves in Spain. Looking to crack the first team in La Liga this season. But for now, it's all about the U18 men's national team, their last game in this NTC Invitational, and their last game of the cycle before the U18s turn their attention to the 1999ers. And match day 2 of the NTC Invitational is underway. It's the USA versus the Czech Republic, and it's the US with the ball attacking to the left. Pinedo will get it out wide, as both these teams really dominated it in their first games. USA were trailing 2-0 until they scored on a penalty kick in the 80th minute through Jackson Ewell. It was his first goal of 2015. And the Czech Republic, meanwhile, tying Xolos 1-1, but they were outshot in that game 17-9, or 17-8 rather. Also gave up 8 corner kicks to Xolos' 2. In the U.S., meanwhile, they gave up 17 shots, just 9 of their own, and Jonathan Klinsmann had to make 9 saves, and about 5 of them could go on the highlight reel. On 2 occasions, had 2 tremendous double saves. It was only a 2-1 loss, but it could have been a lot worse. Could have also been a very different scoreline, as Victor Manzarai missed 2 chances early on in that game. But the U.S. has moved on, and right now looking to put the Czechs under pressure. Czech Republic getting ready for qualifiers for the next U19 European Championships. After this, we'll have friendlies against Finland and Hungary, as this is Januszka getting forward. Plays it inside. Good combination play, looking for Zarski, making the run on this right-hand side, but that pass just a bit too much mustard on it. Goes out of bounds. First goal kick of the game for Jonathan Klinsmann. Elney, the man who won the penalty in the 80th minute that gave the U.S. some hope against Uruguay. However, they never looked like finding the equalizer after Ewell slotted home that penalty. Both of those players came on as substitutes, getting the start here this evening. What is a gorgeous day here in Carson and Glenn Mooch Marinick Field. The #1 training field for all U.S. national teams at every age group level. Temperature in the mid-70s and the wind swirling around as it usually does in the afternoons in Carson. And so far, both teams very patient in their buildup. It's Zarski looking to get up the line again. Good pressure, though, from Haji Wright. Dispossessed by Januszka, but it goes off the Czechs last, and it'll be a throw-in for the U.S. Pablo Pelaez. Good throw down the line for Wright. Good defending, though, from Brezina. Brezina was the only player not to play against Xolos, as he got hurt in training. And that should be a free kick for James Murphy, seeing his first action of the NTC. PDA man gets it out wide. And the U.S. looking to build down the far flank. Jones being preferred on that far side to Duncan. Long searching ball looking for Wright. That pass a bit off kilter and it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for the Czechs in the 4th minute. Jan Steshkal will take the goal kick. Murphy wins the header. Right. Bought down well by Jones. Pushes it forward for Sebastian Elney. Check that, it was Emmanuel Sabi. And Sabi gets it back, little touch out wide. Akale. Good delayed run down this near side from Pelaez. Pelaez marauding forward, not a bad ball in. But the Czech defense able to deal with it, now looking to break. Push forward for Polkrab. Trying to get it back to Trubac. Just one of 2 players on this side, Trubac, who has experience in the Premier Division in the Czech Republic. Everybody else still playing their soccer in the academies. But Trubac saw action in 16 games last year for Hrada Kralova. Zarski gets it back for Brezina. And of course, in that Xolos game, being a friendly, the Czech Republic were allowed to make as many subs as they want, made 8 subs, all of them at halftime. So everyone except for Brezina saw the field in the 1-1 draw against Xolos. And a bad giveaway here, and Elney could be off to the races. Clipped a little bit, still going though. Elney stays on his feet, pulls it back across, and it's going to be an own goal. The assistant referee on the far side has her flag up. And Elney's persistence paying off, and the U.S. have the early lead inside the 6th minute. Great pressure from Elney, but that was a poor giveaway. And then Elney doing the smart thing, pulling it back, hit off of Steshka, hit off of Brezina, and into the net. Another look as Steshkal and Brezina were struggling there. But that's why you pressure high. Elney chasing after the ball, causing all sorts of problems. An early 1-0 lead for the U.S. And this time it's Haji pressuring high, forcing Zarski to guide it back to his keeper. Missed touch from Steshkal, but he's able to clear it.
USA own goal in the 6th minute.
And Pineda will get it back to Klinsmann. Not the best ball out from Klinsmann. And looking to take advantage is Lanka. He goes down. The referee not interested and points for a goal kick. Dennis Lanka still pleading his case, but it falls on the deaf ears of Adam Finney. Didn't feel there was enough in it to warrant a penalty. Elias. Ariano will get it across to Pineda. Wright screaming for the ball on this near side, but the U.S. rolling it around on the carpet. Pelaez dispossessed by Mahalik. And he's unable to keep it in bounds and be a throw-in for the U.S. inside the Czech half. And the long ball looking for Elney. Working against Brezina. And Elney wins the first corner kick of the game for the U.S., much to the chagrin of the Czech defense. So Sebastian Elney causing tons of problems early on. He's already created an own goal that went in off of Brezina. And now has won the first corner kick for the U.S. off of Brezina as well. In swinger from the near side. Wynn helps to carry that. Nobody crashing the back stick for the U.S. The clearance only as far as Murphy. I think he was trying to put it back into the danger area, but rather floated it out of bounds. And it'll just be a goal kick for Steskal in the 9th minute. The Czech Republic trying to pass their way out of the back. Brezina. Starsky making another marauding run forward, but instead it's taken in the channel by Polkrab. Polkrab now has Starsky in support, but instead it's Januszka who pops up in that pocket of space and wins the first corner kick of the game for the Czechs. 10th minute, and the Czechs are looking for the leveler. Trailing on a 6-minute own goal off of David Brezina. And Brezina and the rest of the cavalry are up from the back. As it's Januszka who will take this corner kick for the Czech Republic. And he plays it short. Just the goal kick in the end, as once again a Czech player goes down in the box, but not enough to interest the referee. Good win by Emmanuel Sabi on the far side. Running 1 against 5 though, and the 5 went out through Trubach. Gets it back to his center backs. Starsky. Steskal. This match, of course, a rematch of group play in the 21st tournament of the Valkov Ježek, named after one of Czechoslovakia and the Czech Republic's most famous players. And the U.S. won that tournament, going 3-0 in group play and then beating the Ukraine 1-0 in the final. And it was a wild match against the Czech Republic. All 5 goals coming in the second half as the U.S. won 3-2. And all but one player who scored in that game are on the field here today. Wright doing a good job of tracking back. And Pelias lofts it forward. Header won by Trubach. And Sabi got by his opposite number, but was taken down. Otherwise, he would have been off in space. So good tactical foul from the Czech Republic, but surprised that Chimelek didn't go into the referee's book there. However, free kick from a dangerous position for the U.S. And this time it's Pineda and Ariano's turn to get up from the back. Mukwele Akale in his normal position over the dead ball. Jackson Yule's in the vicinity as well. Akale trying to float it to the back post, but too close to the keeper, and that's catching practice for Steskal. Quick distribution of Mahalik. Good work by Murphy to win it back. The high pressure for the U.S. paying off. 13th minute, and it's been all U.S., and they have a 1-0 lead, courtesy of an own goal off of David Brezina. And they're looking for more here. That was a chance for Sabi to run, but rather couldn't sort his own feet out. However, Murphy wins it back again. And now Arellano will calm things down as the U.S. will look to hit the reset button in the 13th minute. Javier Perez, the head coach of the U.S., told me before the tournament he wants his side to vary up the tempo and the pace of the game. He said the great thing about playing different teams is we have to find different solutions of how to break down back lines. It's one of the reasons they played in the Vaclav Ježić and also went to a training camp in Bosnia and Herzegovina, was so that they could learn how to break down sides that play differently. He wants a team that is able to adapt their system, their formation, in order to find ways through the back line, and they might do here through Wright stepping inside, and Zarski got a vital touch. Otherwise, Wright was thinking about picking out that far post. And the U.S. continue to search for the second goal in the 14th minute. Off the Czechs last in the referee's point of view. And Pablo Pelaez gets forward at every opportunity. Will take the throw-in. Searching for Elney. Took an awkward bounce and he was unable to head it across goal. And it falls into the arms of the grateful Steskal. The 18-year-old plays his club ball with Hradek Kralove. Shares the name of a famous Czechoslovakia and Czech Republic former keeper, but there's no relation. And trying to cut inside and going to the ground again is Lanka. Falls kindly, though, for Polkrab, and it was a good crush, but Januszka was late in arriving. Januszka fighting in the corner. And tigerish work from Jones, but it goes off of him last. Both Jones and Arellano very much at home here as they play their academy ball for the LA Galaxy. Oh, and a good chance, but nothing to concern Klinsmann in the end. Good trap and volley from Mahalik, but he couldn't get it on target. Mahalik brings it down on the chest. Pinedo watches him. Good ball back. And the header was from Pelaez, who climbed highest to win it in the box. And a get-out-of-jail free card is a silly foul in midfield, but good work from Mukwele Akale to use his body to win that ball. And the free kick as well. Pelaez looking for the long ball into the channel for Elney. Brazina has slipped. Elney is in. And coming off his line quickly was Steskal to make the save. Now, we spoke about how Brazina missed that match against Jolos because of injury. Still doesn't look sharp, and Elney getting by him once again. But Steskal did his stuff. You can see the frustration. Elney felt he should have had that one, but he does win the second corner kick of the game for the U.S. And it's going to be a call to take. Outswinger from the near side. Doesn't beat the defender at the near post. Oh, almost a lovely frick from Macaulay over Januszka, but he's able to recover. And good work by Jones to keep it in. Can't skip past Mahalik, though. And now Jones with work to do, and he's whistled for the foul. Brazina. Steskal didn't like the first option. Forcing Elney to come over before he plays it long, looking for the head of Mahalik. And a good job by Pelaez to climb the ladder once again and win the ball over a bigger opponent. Lanka almost forced his way in. The ball came at him with pace, so his touch was heavy, and it falls into the breadbasket of the grateful Klinsmann, who quickly rolls it out wide for Malcolm Jones. Murphy. He's playing in front of the back four, Murphy. Destroyer role on defense and the link between defense and midfield on offense. And a good job by the U.S. to move the ball from side to side. Looking to spread out the Czechs along the width of the field and then find the gaps inside the U.S. And Pelaez was all alone on this near side. However, Pineda thought he saw something in the middle. Mahalik beats Ariano for pace. Still going Mahalik. Murphy over and cover. It's a good ball back, but a poor first touch, letting the Czechs down. U.S. still trying to scramble clear. And finally, Pelaez just smashes it to safety. Zarsky. Good combination play. That's been a theme of the Czechs in their training camp so far. Good ball to the back post. Polkrab couldn't rise high enough, though, to get enough on it. And the U.S. are able to clear their lines. Elney came in late. And Elney's just going to get a talking to. It was a bit dramatic from the Czech player on the far side. Lishka barely clipped, but went down with a big scream. Mahalik. Little touch forward for Januszka. Gets it out wide for Zarsky. Zarsky fighting his way into the channel. And Pelaez looked like he had taken an elbow. And the assistant referee put his flag up for a foul, so it will be a free kick as Pelaez was dragged down. Good strong run by Zarsky, though. The Slavia Praha man almost breaking through the U.S. back line. And even though the whistle had gone, that's a good tackle as well. Bit more patience from the U.S. in the 21st minute. Had really been pushing the tempo early on. Now the long ball and trying to ghost in is Akale, but Lishka's there. Not the best of passes, though, from the center back. And Pelaez looks to take advantage. Haji working 1-on-3, gets past the first two, skips past the second, and is taken down and wins the free kick. Well, you can see why the 17-year-old is so highly rated. Totally took Lanka out of the equation. And then Zarsky with no other option as Haji was about to blow by him. Set piece from a very dangerous position for the U.S. heading into the 23rd minute of play. It's drilled low. And it was a useful ball. The Czechs able to clear, but at the expense of the third corner kick of the game for the Stars and Stripes. And this time Akale will stay short. Leave this one off for Yule. Floats it to the back post. And a downward header from Sabi when that one should have been headed back across goal. Yields a Czech goal kick. Check that, it was right. Steska elects to play it short. Brezina looking for the target man in Pokrab. And Pelaez wins the battle and slams it out of bounds. Thrown for Zarski. Good turn from Trubach. Januszka thought about the hit, instead takes a touch out wide, leaves it off for Mahalik. He has a go. And Klinsmann looked like he had bobbled it at the first attempt, but did a good job not to give up any sort of rebound. So good chance for the Czechs in the 24th minute. It was from a tight angle, but it was well struck from Mahalik. And it did take a bounce in front of Klinsmann. He's very lucky that nobody was lurking. Elney looking to get through again, but Steskal comes to the extreme of his penalty area to claim. Oh, poor pass out of the back. It's Brezina in trouble once again. It's Wright looking to take advantage. And Brezina makes amends for his error. Januszka. Pokrab. And a good job by Ariano and Pelaez to conspire to get that ball away from Mahalik. As Januszka will leave this one off for Zarski to come up and take. Mahalik. Pelaez bear hugging him, but play goes on as Zarski motors forward. It's another decent ball in, but nobody there for the Czechs, and Jones will head it to safety. Brezina was looking for the long searching ball. Overcooked it though, and out of bounds for a throw in for Jones on the far side. Sevi. Lovely move to get by his man, and a nice ball inside to Akale as well. Akale cuts back into space. Yule has time to turn. Right. Yule. Inside to the target man and Elney. Good interplay between Elney and Yule, but he drags his shot wide. However, that's how quickly the U.S. can create chances. Looking a very different side than the one we saw against Uruguay on Saturday. It was a great ball and continued his run, and Elney smartly left it off for him. And the U.S. have certainly shown their attacking prowess inside these first 26 minutes. Shown that they can get the ball out wide, look for crosses, feed players into the channels, or combine down the middle. Brezina forced to go all the way back to his keeper. Czech Republic, meanwhile, when they have the ball, they like to get it down wide, but like to play their target man in the air in Pokrab and have players making runs off of him. As the pressure forces the long lobbed ball, however, Mahalik's header unchallenged. Lanka unable to bring it down, though. Akale was offside. Haji was not. Working 1-on-2, Haji. Still going, Haji. Trying to engineer a bit of space. He finds it. But Lishka did well to fling himself in front of the shot. Thrown for the U.S. on the far side. 27th minute, and U.S. have a 1-0 lead on an own goal off of David Brezina. However, all the credit goes to Sebastian Elney for taking advantage of a poor pass in midfield and running at the keeper, and then trying to pull it back, hit off the keeper, and then hit off Brezina and went into the net. And that's a good ball as well from Pablo Pelaez, the far side. But Haji Wright, who switched flanks, was unable to bring it under control. Still a chance for the U.S. to lock in and keep the ball high up the field, though. As Haji and Sabi have switched flanks. Zarski venturing forward once again, the outside back. Januszka, he's seen a lot of the ball in this first half as well. Aaron pass falls kindly for Jones. And the U.S. to work its way out of the back. Space for Ariano. Pelias. Long ball for Elney. And Lishka heads it back to his keeper. Brezina looking for options. Zarski. And all the way back to Steskal once again. Get it over to Lishka. And checking in his Trubatch. U.S. doing a good job to keep shape. You can see it in the frustration on the faces of the Czech Republic players who have the ball, and then they'll put up their hands like, hey, somebody move. Yule checks in. The Minnesota Thunderman gets it wide. Haji. Akale and acres of space. Looking to chip it for Sabi at the far post. Just a bit too much mustard on that one, and it goes out for a Czech goal kick on the half-hour mark. But a good idea from Akale. Good run from Sabi as well. Had gotten behind his man. Akale just couldn't find the proper weight on the pass. But once he gets his radar, Akale, he's so dangerous. And there's that flick on looking for the target man in Polkrab. And the combination play off of him. Mahalik in space. Coming over is Pineda. This could be trouble for the U.S. Lovely back heel. Lanka's there, but so is Klinsmann. Excellent reading of the game by Klinsmann, but lovely combination play from the Czechs. First down this right-hand side, and then in the box to create that space. However, Klinsmann was equal to the task. Ariano. Pelias. Javier Perez at the edge of his technical area, pleading with his charges to just continue to move the ball and keep possession. Move it a little quicker. Pineda. Jones. Little two-man game, and now it's out wide. Elney tried to spin away, but a good job to track back and win that on the far side by the Czechs. Januszka. Mahalik rather popped it up, and Sabi brings it down. And then Sabi taking a shot to the face. And it was an inadvertent one, but still a foul. Januszka with the accidental elbow. Just got his hands up while going for the ball. No malintent. And you could see as Januszka stepped in. Mahalik's elbows were also up as well. Might have been a double whammy there, but the good news is that Emmanuel Sabi's all right. As the U.S. look to stretch the Czech back line once again. Good ball into the channel. Haji has the beating of Zarski, puts it across goal. Just a bit too much pace on it. Elney was almost there, but just couldn't latch onto it. And it took a deflection as well, so it's going to be the fourth corner kick of the game for the U.S. It was a great move by Haji getting inside. And he played that ball in, and, well, there's the reason he couldn't latch onto it, Elney. Deflection threw him off. This time it'll be a throw-in. The U.S. has 4 players camped out in the box. Played in for Ewell. Akale puts it in the danger area. It's a good ball, and it will be up and over for the 5th corner kick for the U.S. It was Lanka doing just enough, making sure to get that one up and over his crossbar. And it's Ewell in his normal position over these corner kicks on the near side. As Jones is coming forward, it's a good ball in, just missing the head of Haji Wright. Akale rolls it out wide. And then winning a free kick on the far side is the U.S. Didn't really see much there myself, but referee Adam Finney spotted something. And Akale and Ewell have another chance to put the ball into the melting pot. Akale could also look to try and catch Steskal at his near post, but he's not cheating over too much. Akale went for it anyways, and nothing to trouble the keeper in the end. Have to make him work from there. But Steskal and his defense will breathe a sigh of relief as it's a goal kick for the Czechs in the 35th minute. Brazina. Steskal. Liška wore the captain's armband against Jolos Liška, but today that honor goes to Andre Mahalik. Wright applying the pressure. And the long ball won by Pablo Pelaez. And Haji Wright catches the Czech midfielder. Good news is that he gets up quickly. Petr Prucha is right, and Prucha went up for it. And you could see that Haji definitely caught Prucha. The Victoria Pilsen man looks to be okay. Just a little bit of water on the head. Cool things off. Trainers came onto the field. Prucha's going to have to come off and wait for permission to come back on again. Prucha, as he came off, telling his head coach that he's okay. Good to go, so no substitution has to be made by the Czech Republic. And Prucha's back on. Januszka. Mahalik has found a bit of space out wide. He's being policed by Pelaez, and Pelaez brings him down. Free kick just outside the box on the right-hand side. Javier Perez said one thing you always have to be careful of when you're playing the Czech Republic is set pieces. He said they're very savvy from the dead ball situation. You can see the U.S., the respect that the U.S. are showing here is they have all 11 men inside the box, as Trubach is going to swing this one in. Klinsmann setting up his two-man wall. And Trubach rolls it in on the ground. How did they miss that? Two players on the doorstep for the Czech Republic, and a swing and a miss. Something still might be on here for the Czechs. And a good job by Ariano getting his body in front of the ball, but at the expense of a corner kick. Second of the game for the Czech Republic. And they've had their chances, but still trail 1-0. Well, the last game between these two teams last year was a 5-goal thriller. Had 1 goal in the 6 minutes so far, an own goal off of David Brazina, but definitely could be more on the cards here. especially if Lanka has something to say about it. Lanka slipped right as he was about to cross it. And the Czech player dispossessed on the far side, a chance for the U.S. to break. And that ball rolling just past the Kale. Trubac, Januszka, trying to chisel his way down the flank. And a good job by the Czechs to keep possession. And they'll hit the reset button, the Czechs, going all the way back to their keeper. Brezina. Zarski, not the best first touch from him, popping that ball up in the air. Long ball looking for Lanka, and Klinsmann will take those all day. Quick distribution to Jones. Yule receives it in midfield. Pushes it out wide for Sebastian Elney. As you can see, the U.S. interchanging positions fluidly. Now Elney's out wide, and Sabi is playing as the forward. Instantly killed on the far side by Jones. Akale orchestrating things in the midfield. Yule tried to be a bit too intricate, and a break could be on here for the Czech Republic. Polkrab caught up to it, but Pineda did a good job to get back, and now shielding off Polkrab. Tremendous job by Polkrab to keep that ball in bounds. Pelaez smashes it forward, looking for Elney, but Liška is there. And Liška should have played that one out wide. Very lucky that nobody was chasing back, as he almost played that right across the face of Elney, but in the end, enough pace on it to get it back to his keeper, Steskal. And the Czech keeper is seeing a lot of the ball at his feet today. The pace slowing as we head into the final 5 minutes of first half regulation. Brezina. Januszka. Haji dispossessing Mahalik. And Murphy just a bit too much on that pass. And good pressure from the lone forward, Sebastian Elney, once again forcing the ball all the way back to the keeper from the Czech Republic. Zarski. Into the pocket of space for Januszka. Rather played it behind Mahalik, and Akale will take over. Jones. Yule. Yule spins back around. And this is Elney back on that far side. Good flowing move by the U.S. from right to left. And now right is off in space. Elney was waiting to time his run. Haji held on to it a bit too long, and he has his pocket picked. Poor ball from Mahalik, though. And that's one thing that the Czech Republic's head coach, Pavel Maruha, said not only about this side, but about most Czech youth teams, is that they don't really have the desired technique for the international level. He said, in fact, the FA is working on building a school just to work on technique in the Czech Republic. So that is a part of the games that the Czech Republic at all levels of the all international levels rather are trying to work on and improve. Yule. Oh, and trying to let that go was Emmanuel Sabi. But Yule picks up the pieces. He's trying to play it through this time for right. Yule's there to tidy up once again. Oh, what a touch that was from right. Almost getting around Zarski. And the referee whistling for a free kick and calling Zarski over as well. And he's going to bring out the yellow card. So Zarski, the first player to go into the referee's book in the 43rd minute. You could see, had Haji been able to spin around him, he would have caught up to that ball right on the end line and play it across. Still a free kick from a very dangerous position, though. Akali can put this into the mix with his left. Yule can play it to the far post with his right. Instead, played it over everyone and out of bounds. So once again, the chance goes begging for the U.S. in the 44th minute. They've had their chances to expand the lead, the U.S. However, the Czech Republic has had plenty of chances to get level as well. Klinsmann coming up big on 2 occasions. First, the save on a shot from a tight angle on this near side from Mahalik. And then Lanka was one-on-one against Klinsmann, but he came out and cut down the angle well. So the U.S. win a free kick in midfield. Final minute of the 45. Yule spinning, looking for options. Pelias. Elney, good run beyond Brezhnev. And winning another corner kick. 6th of this half for the U.S. A good job by Elney to get to that ball. And Brezhnev did just enough to shield it out of bounds and get it away. This time making sure Elney couldn't hit it off of him and Steskal and into the net. So the corner kick to be taken as we are into stoppage time. Play to the near post, and that will be a free kick for the Czech Republic.
1 minute of stoppage time to the first half.
So 1 minute of stoppage time. And Steskal will take his time on this free kick. Referee telling him to move it back a bit. Seems there are areas on the field where that's a bit more important, but the referee sticking to the letter of the law. Yule wins the first header. Murphy fighting on the second, and anywhere will do from Pelias. Sabi chasing it down on the far side. Wins it before Chemelik. However, unable to keep possession, and Chemelik quickly takes the throw-in. Quick little touch inside for Trubach. He moved it on, and once again, there's that lack of a first touch from the Czech Republic that's been killing them all game. Can Haji make them pay? U.S. looking to steal a goal right before halftime. Haji got it onto the left foot and struck it well, but Steskal came out and cut down the angle. 7th corner kick for the U.S. as we've already played that minute of stoppage time and change, and the U.S. will not get a chance to take this corner. And at halftime, it is 1-0 U.S. who've created the most of the chances. However, they lead from a solo goal, and it was an own goal off of David Brezhnev in the 6th minute. It's a great job by Sebastian Elney to take advantage of a poor ball played out of the back. He won it, ran in to the byline, crossed it back. It hit off the feet of Steskal, and then hit off the feet of Brezhnev and went into the net, and then almost 2-0 right at the end of the first half as Haji came flying in, got it onto his left foot, and he caught it well, but Steskal was in good position and got down quickly to make the save. So at halftime, it's the USA 1, the Czech Republic 0. We're going to step aside, but we'll be back with you for the final 45 minutes. You're watching the U18 Men's National Training Center Invitational on U.S. Soccer and the U.S. Soccer YouTube channel. All set for the second half. The final 45 minutes for many of these players in the USA U18 men's national team cycle. And they have a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a 6-minute own goal off of David Brazina. The Czech Republic making 3 substitutions at halftime. We'll get those 2 in a second. The U.S. keeping the same starting 11. Klima, Hellebrand, and Kukta all out there for the Czech Republic. Still waiting on confirmation of who came out for them. We'll get that sorted out for you. But for now, it's the U.S. looking to extend their lead. And it's the same MO for the Czech Republic from the first half. If they get the ball under pressure, they go back to their safety valve in Steskal. And Steskal teasing Elney to come over. Now sends it long. And once again, it's Pelaez winning those headers over much bigger opponents.
Substitutions in the 46th minute for Czech Republic. Entering the game, number 6, Jan Kukta. Leaving the game, number 11, Denis Lanka. Entering the game, number 3, Mate Hildebrand. Leaving the game, Jan Zarski. Entering the game, number 7, Yuri Klima. Leaving the game, number 10, Mate Fulcraft. Also, substitution for the USA. Entering the game, number 14.
And the U.S. did make a substitution at halftime,
23, James Murphy.
as Swanson has come in for Murphy. When the U.S. in the parts of the game against Uruguay that they dominated, it was because Swanson was on the ball. He was able to find seams in that Uruguayan defense. Also combined really well in the middle with Lindley. And a good ball for Akale. Akale working in the box, slid it across behind Elney. And then Sabi swung and missed. Trubach. Well stepped in by Pineda. Swanson with his first touch. And it was a good one. Jones could see the idea, trying to get it inside. And he does it the second attempt. Akale, still going Akale. Finds space in the middle, Akale! Beaten away by Steskal. But that's what Akale can do. Eighth corner kick of the game for the U.S. as Akale ran right at the heart of the Czech defense. And a strong paw by Steskal to put that one away. Good job by Steskal not only to make the save, but to put that away from anybody who was lurking for a rebound. However, the corner kicks, 8 of them for the U.S., they need to be better. They're not beating the man at the front post. And that's always the first rule of corner kicks. If you get it past that first defender, anything can happen. The Czech Republic gave up 8 corner kicks total against Xolos. In their friendly on Saturday, have already given up 8 corner kicks in the first 48 minutes plus change. Trubach saw 16 matches for Kralove's first team last season. Akale beaten to the ball by Mahalik. And once again, the ball will go all the way back to Steskal via the substitute, Mate Hildebrand. Center back venturing forward. And Jones did well to win that header. Not sure whether the offside flag would have gone up. And off the Czech Republic last, it will be a throw-in for Pelaez on the far side. Would love to know what Pelaez's vertical leap is, because he has won plenty of headers over Mahalik, who definitely has at least 5 inches on him. Although the last time these two teams met in the Vaclav Jezik last year, 5 goals were scored in the second half. Will we see the same thing this time around? The U.S. has already had a genuine opportunity. Steskal coming up huge for the Czech side. Excellent first touch. Chumeki wins the throw-in. Klima dispossessed. And the header won by Liška over Elney. And then Klima whistled for the foul. Klima, a very dangerous player. Jones looking to flick it into the path of Sabi. Sabi does well to muscle Chumeka off the ball. And still going Sabi. Thought he had the space, but instead elects to play it into the middle for Akale. Oh, lovely little feint from Jones. That pass too easily telegraphed, though, and Jones has to go back with it. Oh, excellent combination play, but it peters out off of the miscue from Sebastian Elney. Great ball in, though, from Pineda, and a nice little touch on for Elney from Yule. Trubac with space to run. It was closed down as soon as he popped his first touch in the air, but the Czech's still with it as Januszka pushes it out wide. That's a dangerous cross, just over the head of Kuchta at the far post. And this time it's going to be Swanson whistled for the free kick, as he was adjudged to have gone into the back of Trubac. And we alluded to earlier, Javier Perez saying the Czechs are very savvy when it comes to set pieces. Is this how they're going to find the equalizer? Little bit of confusion as to whether Klinsmann wanted a 2-man or a 4-man wall. Played into the danger area, and Pelias getting a foot in, but at the expense of a corner kick. First of the half for the Czech Republic, third of the game for the visitors. Januszka coming over to take. And this time you can see and Swanson both coming over very quickly. Against Uruguay, the first goal they gave up, they were caught on a short corner. This one came all the way back, but the trajectory of the ball was poor as it was swung back into the mix. Petr Prucha. The Pilsen man floats it forward. Little header off from Kuchta. Played behind Mahalik. Trubac is there to mop up. And the Czech Republic will recycle their runs in the 54th minute. Kulmetsky is free. And gets it again. Oh, and that was a good ball. Kuchta didn't make the run. Klinsmann's goal kick floated right at Trubac, but won back by the Stars and Stripes. Sprayed to the far side from Pineda for Pelias. Good ball into the channel. And this is Sabi, heavy first touch, able to get there in time. And it was a dangerous cross from Sabi, causing chaos in the box, and Sabi is injured behind the play. Getting up gingerly, Sabi. The Czech Republic continuing in midfield through Mahalik. Prucha. Januszka. And with each pass, the Czech Republic bring one more player into the attack. Hadji doing the defending on the far side. Tremendous defending from Hadji, but he can't work his way out of the corner, and it allows the cross in, but well stationed was Ariano. Not the best of clearances from him, though. No foul called, and just a goal kick in the end. And now the referee will come back and check on Emmanuel Sabi. 17-year-old Sabi plays for the Chicago Magic Academy, was named to the U.S. Development Academy Central Conference Best 11 this season. And Sabi, I thought his first touch was too far. He does a great job to get there before the ball crosses the end line. And Steskal having to stick out a boot was able to get it past the U.S. players that were sniffing around in there. That's one thing that's been so impressive about the U.S., and you saw that on the own goal from Brezhnev. It was created by Elney chasing after what seemed to be a lost cause. And then Elney Sabi almost created a goal himself chasing after a lost cause there. And the good news is that he's okay. So play continues with Klinsmann's goal kick and Sabi rising up for the ball, but Liška climbed higher. So after this, the Czech Republic U18s will play friendlies against Hungary and Finland. Well, for the U.S. U18s, well, the majority of these players will move into the player pools for the U20. Well, the next camp in August will focus on players who were born in 1999. Czech Republic coming off the Slovakia Cup where they were runners-up. Lost 2-1 to the host nation Slovakia in the final. Advanced after wins over Norway and the UAE. Lost their final group game against Russia, but squeaked through. However, could not beat the host nation. Then had a pair of friendlies against Montenegro, a 1-1 draw and a 2-1 win, in which the number 8 Januszka had a brace. So both these teams getting plenty of international matches in. And the U.S. looking to build here. It's a little back heel from Akale. And Akale wants the ball through. Instead, it comes out wide for Hadji. Waits for the overlap from Jones and elects to take the inside route. Flights it over to the far side. The chance could be on here for Yule. Takes a deflection. And getting there just in time is Steskal. Another good buildup from the U.S. And you can see why Akale is so highly rated. It was Yule taking that shot. And the deflection, wrong footing Steskal, but good reactions to get back in time and push it away at full stretch. And now the break is on here. Klima flying into the box. And a crucial intervention from Ariano. Liška. Klima. This is Cimelik. Got it forward for Klima. And then Klima taken down. A free kick from a very dangerous position for the Czechs in the 59th minute. Pineda was trying to shield it, ended up losing the ball, and really no other choice in the end as he swung out a foot. So the U.S. with a two-man wall. 3 players conspiring over the dead ball for the Czech Republic. Klinsmann still setting up his wall. 4 players queued up across the penalty area. Right around that penalty spot for the Czech Republic. Now a 5th and a 6th player drift in. And the ball played with too much pace, too much power over the head of the tall Mahalik at the back post. And you have to make at least the defense and the keeper work there. Another chance wasted for the Czech Republic on the hour mark. Sigh of relief for the U.S. Elney flicks it on. Right, running through. Gets by the first man, but can't get by second base as Liška was there to tap it back to his keeper. Trubec. Kukta. Prucha. And good passing in tight spaces by the Czech Republic. But a great job by the U.S. to keep their shape and force them all the way back. Mahalik unable to spin away from Pelaez, who stabs it out of bounds. As we are past the hour mark here at the National Training Center Invitational. The USA with a 1-0 lead, the goal coming in the 6th minute off of the unfortunate David Brezina. But it was all Sebastian Elney. He'll get the credit for creating it, but it will go down as an own goal off the Czechs. U.S. looking for their first 3 points in their final game. The Czech Republic will face off against Uruguay on Wednesday, and we will have all the action for you right here on ussoccer.com and U.S. Soccer's YouTube page. Elney, and running right through him was Brezina. Really not his best game, Brezina. The Sparta Prague man goes into the book. Second yellow card brandished by Adam Finney. And you could see he had the leg right in between Elney, who was in a very compromising position as he had left his feet. So Brezina, the second player to go into the referee's book in the 62nd minute. The U.S. play the free kick quickly. Brezina was well stationed on that occasion. Not sure what Akale was trying to do there. Trubec looking to spring the Czech attack. Good turn from Klima. And the attack stalled as Hellebrand had to try and turn as that ball was played behind him. And now the U.S. to go the other way. Hadji. And Hadji will be whistled for the foul. Excellent job by Trubec to stand his ground and quell the counterattack as the U.S. is getting ready to hit the switch on a double substitute. And it's going to be Kraft coming in for Hadji. So Coy Kraft, the FC Dallas man who's made 2 appearances for the first team, makes his way onto the field, and Lindley will check in for Yule. Excellent game for Hadji. Almost scored the second goal for the U.S., but Steskal stood his ground. And then a great job of controlling the middle by Jackson Yule, who leaves this tournament with a goal to his name. Czechs making a substitution as well as Januszka's night is done. And it's Thomas Wiesner, the 17-year-old, who's on the field for him.
Yellow card issued in the 62nd minute to Czech Republic, number 20, David Brezina. Substitution for the United States in the 64th minute. Entering the game, Cameron Lindley.
The Czechs flying down the right-hand side. Good ball in. And Arellano gets there before Klima. 4th corner kick of the game for the Czechs.
Also substitution for Czech Republic. Entering the game, number 18, Thomas Wiesner. Leaving the game, Yuri Januszka.
And Wiesner will turn 18 on Friday, along with teammate Daniel Trubec. So happy early birthday to both of them. Looking for a birthday present here from the corner kick. It's flicked onto the far post and in. Second time the U.S. have been beaten on a corner in this tournament. Second time they've fallen asleep on a set piece. And the Czechs are level in the 65th minute. Klinsmann is furious with his defense. Once again, the U.S. had cement shoes. A free header, and it was Kukta climbing highest and heading it home. The Slavia Praha man had 13 goals in 24 appearances for Slavia's U21s this season. And he scores here to draw the sides level.
Number 6, Jan Kuchta.
Kukta all alone. And a beautifully measured header. He knew that the pace from the corner kick was enough, and all he had to do was snap his head and direct it goalwards, and the pace would do the rest. Javier Perez said they were a danger on set pieces, and he was right. Game on here at the Glenn Mooch Marinick Field. Lindley, lovely little touch with the outside of the foot to Akale. Akale looking to create room for himself. Finds the space out wide. The U.S. looking for an instant reply. Lindley. Pineda jumping up into the attack. Great job by Jones to deal with that ball that had plenty of pace with it. It was pinged into him. Top of the box for Kraft. Rolls it back out wide. Good build-up from the U.S., but it's the goal scorer who smashes it clear. '67th minute, and the Czechs have new life. The goal coming from Kukta in the 65th. No one picked up the run of the big man. And are we in for another exciting finish? There were late goals the last time these two teams met in the Czech Republic. Will there be more here? Steshko well out of his goal. And it's Steshko once again. Sabi all over him, but Steshko calm under pressure. Chimelik. Klima. And Pineda wins the battle. Brezina. Brezina steps past Elney. Tried to play it forward, looking for Kukta. And the backwards header falls right to Prucha. Victoria Pilsenman gets it back to Lishka. Out wide for Chimelik. Chimelik continued his run, but realized he had to stay onside. Good job by the back line to step up in unison and allow that attack to continue down this left-hand side. And once again, the U.S. steps up and the offside flag goes up. But the referee will ignore it as the ball goes all the way through to the keeper. Kraft working against his opposite number and winning the corner kick. Ninth corner kick of the game for the U.S. Can they take advantage of these set pieces? They've had plenty of them. And once again, the cavalry is up from the back in Ariano and Pineda. Pineda scored 2 goals at the end of last year in 2 matches against Germany. So a center back who certainly has a nose for goal. But the U.S. have to get the service right. Many times it hasn't gotten past the defender at the near post. And this time Pineda flicking it back into the middle, but off the defender and out for another corner kick, 10th of the game for the U.S. And the Czechs are very frustrated, but what's their argument? This is a better ball in, but it's catching practice for Steskal. It was too close to the keeper. Looking for the early outlet. Kukta gets there and has the body positioning over Steskal. Or over Swanson, rather, and Swanson brings him down. And Swanson very lucky not to go in the book. And now I think he will. First yellow card of the game for the U.S., and it comes in the 71st minute. Is Kukta causing all kinds of problems for the U.S. This time, getting the better of the positioning over Swanson. And Swanson with a bear hug. U.S. must track their runners. Service was definitely good on the corner kick, but the service from the free kicks have not been quality from the Czech Republic. This is better. But Ariano did enough. Klima can't skip past Elney, who just hammers it clear. Frustration starting to grow for some of these U.S. players.
Yellow card in the 71st minute for the USA, number 14, Ben Swanson.
Chimelik's throwing. He'll get it back, Chimelik. Prucha. Brazina. Space out wide. It's a useful ball. And cleared out by the U.S. We've been on the back foot in these last 5 or 6 minutes, the U.S. Oh, played across and Klinsmann gets there.
Let's go.
Otherwise, Klima was lurking at the back post. Prucha. Lovely spin from Mahalik. The Czech Republic surging forward. That's a good ball. And it's cleared away by Pineda, rather. Otherwise, it would have been an easy tap-in for the Czech Republic. Excellent turn. Mahalik off to the races, picks his head up, plays it into that corridor of uncertainty. And Pineda making absolutely sure to get it away before Klima could tap it beyond Klinsmann. That's another corner kick for the Czech Republic. Scored on their last one. Looking for that hook. Kukta again, once again. Klinsmann rooted to his line, but this time watches the ball go on the wrong side of the post. As it was David Lushka getting forward from a center back position. All Czech Republic in the last 10 minutes. One thing Morua Pavel said about his side against Jolos was he was not happy with their transition game. They've certainly cleaned that up here, especially in the second half. And that pass from Swanson just a bit off kilter, as Koycraft was unable to latch onto it. Elney chasing, but Steskal clears. Ariano wins the first header. Sabi chases it down, took an awkward bounce. Sabi dealt with it well, but Lishka able to clear. Only as far as Swanson, missed touch from him. And he's dispossessed by Klima. And that was a crucial intervention from Pineda. Otherwise, Kukta could have been off on a breakaway. Tremendous skill from Klinsmann to get that one away from Mahalik. And then to find that ball out wide as well. And it could turn into an opportunity for the U.S. Played across goal. And Kraft was asking for a deflection, but the referee points for a goal kick. Kraft trying to catch Steskal unawares. So he was expecting the cross. He tried to whip it into that far post. Good one-on-one work by Crafton. Perhaps was going for that cross and just put a bit too much on it. Lindley wins the first header. And the second ball is won by Chimelik, but at the expense of a throw-in. Jones, inside for Akale. Still is yet to put his stamp on the match, Akale, and it's won back by Klima. Bit of a heavy touch. And Klinsmann does well to create an angle for Ariano to get it back to him. However, the long searching ball for Kraft goes out of bounds. And the ball will go back to the Czech Republic right around the midfield stripe in the 76th minute. The Czechs have done all the scoring as first Brezina put through his own net in the 6th minute, and then Kukta scored a header off of a corner kick in the 65th to draw the sides level. Good elasticity from Trubach to be able to get his foot on that one and play it out wide. Prucha. Good ball in for Klima. Klima catches up to it, puts it across. And another vital intervention from Ariano. And another corner kick for the Czech Republic. Catching up to it in time was Klima. And the two subs almost combining, but Ariano was there, and he actually hit it off of Cook the last. So it's going to be a goal kick for Klinsmann. And a chance for the U.S. to go forward here, although their attack has been a bit disjointed in the last 10 minutes. Akale trying to change that, and he wins a free kick. Six players lined up atop the cross of the box for the U.S.
He's not on. Just play.
Lindley floats it in. Headed only as far as Swanson. And he tried to angle it toward the corner, but nobody was shaping out wide. So it'll be a throw-in for the Czech Republic. And the big number 3, Matej Hellebrand. The SFC Opava man backs up. Hellebrand's clearance only as far as Lindley. Push forward, but right to Lishka. The Czechs looking to work their way out of traffic. And they're doing a great job to find the little pockets of space in between the U.S. lines. And this is Trubach. The passing becoming crisper and crisper from the Czech Republic as the game wears on. Trubach, still going Trubach. And that one flashed just over the crossbar. The Czechs so close to taking the lead in the 79th minute, and Kuktha almost found his second. Swanson whistled for going over the back of Klima. And the Czechs are taking their time. Plenty of white jerseys getting forward. Can see the different shades on the patches of grass. The pitch was relayed just on Tuesday. Kukta got the header. Second header neatly played down. That's good combination, but not the best angle to shoot from. So it was Mahalik trying his luck. Mahalik quickly onto Pineda. Now chasing down Klinsmann. So comfortable with the ball at his feet, Klinsmann. Was rated the goalie of the tournament We'll get back to that in a second, as that was a hard foul. Lishka went down as well. Lishka's quickly up. The U.S. player, Coy Kraft, still down. And it's good to see Kraft get up under his own power and quickly, too, so no trainers needed. Getting back to in the Czech Republic, Klinsmann was voted the goalkeeper of the tournament. You take a look, and it was Sabi colliding with Lishka, but that was after he'd been called. Quickly played for Swanson. Czech Republic come flying out. Jones trying to get behind Mahalik. Does a great job to shield him off the ball. Akale takes advantage of the loose touch. Pineda finds himself very far forward. Great turn from Akale. Looking to swing it in Akale. And in the end, nobody making the run across the face of Steskal. And it remains 1-1 as we are inside the final 10 minutes of regulation, plus whatever stoppage time is added on. This is the U.S.'s last game of the U18 Men's NTC Invitational. One more game left in this tournament, as on Wednesday the Czech Republic will take on Uruguay. And a win for Uruguay means that they'll win the tournament. This time Klima's called for coming in from behind, and the referee is going to brandish the third yellow card to the Czech Republic. So 4 in this match, 3 to the Czechs and 1 to the U.S. As this time it's the substitute Klima, the latest player to go into Adam Finney's book. Lindley and Akali in their normal positions over the dead ball. And it's played down the line to Akali. Now swung in. And just not enough urgency. The U.S. players were expecting that one to be pulled back across goal. And instead it was arrowed right across the face of the 6 and out of bounds for a Steskal goal kick. Steskal plays it short. The long ball clipped forward, looking for the big target man. Pineda read it well. And safety first from the Chicago Fireman. Elney unable to keep it in on the far side. And the Czech Republic preparing another substitution, as it's going to be Tomáš Ládora getting set to check in. And he replaces Mahalik. So Mahalik will not get his goal like he had the last time against the USA, but he created plenty of problems. And now it's Tomáš Ládra's turn to see what he can do. Strong sliding challenge, and winning the ball is the U.S. on the far side. Pelias has been so strong in that outside left back position. The U.S. flying forward. Now they'll hold up to bring more numbers into the attack, and that is a late foul. And Gupta very lucky not to go into the referee's book. So another chance for the U.S. to send the ball into the danger area. This time it's just Lindley over it. Instead, he's going to play it short to Akale. And his pass for Swanson easily picked off by Ladra. Ladra running 3-on-2. And the chance is in. The shot, Klinsmann with a huge save. Full stretch to deny Wiesner. But the U.S., all the architects of their own downfall there. And another corner kick, this time in the 86th minute. Is Wiesner being pulled out wide. It was a great job by Pineda to get back. And then Pelaez just hooked it to safety. And Lucatero getting set to come in for his second substitute appearance of the tournament. But the corner kick will happen first. Akale flicks it on. Elney wins it back. Elney now working 1-on-3. Akale joins the party. Elney wants it back. Still going Akale. Akale. Kraft. Little touch off for Lindley. Lindley sends it across looking for Sabi. Takes a deflection. And Stesko will not get there in time. And it's going to be a corner kick for the U.S. Their 11th of the game. And it's going to be Sebastian Elney whose number is up. So Elney's night is done in the 87th minute, but not before he got the job done. It was Elney who won the ball in the 5th minute and went running at the Czech defense and played it across goal, hitting it off Steskal and then off of Brezina and into the net. So Elney, the creator of the goal for the U.S., as there's a Czech player down. And Hulometsky is getting set to check in for the Czech Republic. Not sure who's down in the box. And here was Lindley, has the ball, working against two defenders, drives it in. And then the header almost took to the far lower corner. But it ended up squibbling wide of the goal. But it will be another corner kick for the U.S., their 11th of the game. And it's the player who's hurt who's going to come out. And Hulometsky will come in. Lindley's corner kick. And the U.S. will have a throw-in the 88th minute. As it's Brezina who's come out.
Substitution in the 87th minute for Czech Republic.
Akale. That's a dangerous ball. Cleared away just before Ariano could get to it at the back post. Sabi fighting for it. Has his pocket pick taken away from him. Pelaez swings it to the far side for Akale. Akale squares up to his defender. Great turn from Akale. Creates some space between him and Wiesner. Gets it off to Lindley. Wiesner gets a foot out and blocks. Lindley with the shielding. The double team does its job. But Pineda steps in well. Swanson wins the first ball, but Trubach wins the second. As we're in the final minute of the 90. 1-1 between the USA and the Czech Republic. Will there be late heroics here? And perhaps something for Klima. He's taken himself out wide, tried to cross it back. Good defending by Ariano. No one has picked up Kukta in the box. Plays it back for Wiesner. And Wiesner taking too many touches. Still with it though. Klima flies past this man and skies his shot over the crossbar. And now Victor Manzarek in for Emmanuel Sabi. Sabi comes flying off the field knowing that there's not much time left. His work rate has been tremendous, Emmanuel Sabi. Covered every blade of grass today. A great job from the Chicago Magic man. Can Manzarai be the hero off the bench? Strong target forward who can hold the ball up and lay it off for shots. As there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. And the U.S. looking for the winner. Lucatero pushes it out wide. Across and in off the crossbar. And a chance for Jones. Hammers his volley over. Steskal taking his time on this goal kick. It's a good step in. And a great shot. Steskal was beaten comprehensively, but the crossbar came to his rescue. And then Jones caught all of that, but the shot was always rising. Trubach helps it on. Kukta, the goal scorer, is beaten to it by Pelias, but he can't keep it in bounds. Well, it was going out of bounds. I'm not sure what the defender was thinking over on that far side. Gives the ball back to the U.S. Lucatero. Clips it in Lucatero. Nobody to find in the box for a U.S. jersey. Klima. Hint of handball perhaps, but play goes on. Trubach trying to slip it through. Now Manzarai chasing. Sent back in. Frantic finish here at Glenn Mooch Marinick Field. 1-1 in injury time. And the break could be on here for the U.S. Lucatero plays it over for Manzarai. Manzarai works his way into the box and tried to pick out the far corner. And he had 3 players making runs into the box. And all 3 of them threw up their hands in frustration as Manzarai's shot was too tall. You could see what he was trying to do there. Floated to that back post. But he had a Kale running in, a player at the back post. And then Lindley behind him as well. And the referee telling Steskal to hurry up with the goal kick. Lindley wins the first header. Trubach plays it out wide to no one in particular, and that will do it. The USA and the Czech Republic sharing the spoils here as the US took the lead in the 6th minute off an own goal from David Braznia. Sebastian Elney took advantage of a poor pass out of the back from the Czech Republic, got to the byline and crossed it. It hit off the feet of the goalie Steskal, and then off of David Braznia and into the net. And the U.S. had a 1-0 lead. They held that till the 65th minute when the U.S. fell asleep on a corner, and Kukta was all alone to head the ball into the far post to make it 1-1. And despite chances for both sides, neither team was able to find the winner, and it finishes 1-1 between the U.S. and the Czech Republic. So the USA will finish the tournament 0-1-1, while the Czech Republic starts its tournament with a draw and will now face off against Uruguay in the final match of the tournament on Wednesday. And a reminder that that match will be shown right here on USsoccer.com and US Soccer's YouTube channel. So tune in on Wednesday afternoon, as all Uruguay will need is a draw in order to win the U18 Men's NTC Invitational. But for now, that will do it. I'm Mark Serber saying good night from Glenn Mooch Marinick Field, where it finishes the USA U18 Men's National Team 1 and the Czech Republic U18 Men's National Team 1.